welcome to an edition of Insomnia, Maniacs Tarot with your host, Jocko, Empress in Spirit. Hi, beautiful people. How y'all doing? I thought I'd come on tonight because Spirit called me to come out, so here I am. I wasn't planning on being out here, but Spirit had went through and woke me up and told me I needed to come out tonight, so which I don't mind hanging out with y'all. I was just enjoying my alone time at my house because my house is empty, so it's nice and peaceful and quiet. So I enjoy those nights when all I hear is my own footsteps. So hope y'all had a good weekend, and hopefully y'all had a good Monday, a good start to y'all's week. What is that? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out what all my cards are. I still got all my decks stacked up on my desk that I need to move. So beautiful people. How was y'all's weekend? How was y'all's Monday? Hopefully it was good. Hopefully y'all did something fun. And did something that made y'all happy. It brought peace and serenity to y'all's life. Because that's what it's all about. Let's see. Spirit. Shuffle this deck for a minute. On one that shuffles. Spirit. I don't want to use that one. So, give y'all a few minutes to get here. And then I'll do a collective. And then if anybody wants a personal reading, I'll do one for y'all. Let's see. Spirit. I love how Spirit wakes me up and unloads Pandora's box on me. So, that's what I got woken up to again. So I got other readings I gotta do for my Patreon and all that good stuff. So, beautiful people. Let's see. What does Spirit want to say to y'all tonight? Do a quick past, present, and future. If I could find one deck that is speaking to me right now. Not that one. Man. Spirit said no. Of course not. Alright. I'll use this one too then, Spirit. Alright. Let's see. What's going on here with y'all? Spirit, show me. Past, present, or future. Let's see. Beautiful people, this is a general collective. It's not a personal, so take it if it resonates. Leave it behind if it doesn't. If something doesn't fit, don't force it to fit. Alright, Spirit, show me. Show me past. Present. And future. Well, someone has expectations of long-lasting love. But there seems to be a disconnection somewhere. Spirit, what's this about? Here's my dice. Alright. First I want to do this. Alright. I'm hoping to take y'all's relationship to the next level. Maybe some of y'all are contemplating if y'all want to take y'all's romantic relationship to the next level. Spirit, clarify. What else, Spirit? Well, I feel like the person you're connecting with, it seems like y'all have a lot on y'all's mind. I don't feel complete happiness in this relationship. Even though there's this silent expectation, you want to pursue a long-lasting relationship with them, but on the other hand, I'm feeling there's a lot of heartache there. There's something that keeps telling you to not go any further with this. There's even this intuition that keeps telling you to walk away, but I feel like for some of y'all it's hard to walk away because you've already invested time into this relationship. For some of y'all it's several years. I'm getting the number 4. So 4 might be a number for someone out there. Spirit, why is this here? Clarify. Uh-oh. Seems like this person has disrupted your security, your stability. I feel like you've lost a lot, even being in this relationship. Like, I don't feel like this person has been a good partner to go any further with, and I even get this feeling like your friends and your family have been telling you it's time to leave this relationship alone, but for whatever reason, you can't leave just yet. I'm trying to figure out why. It's almost like you and your partner's priorities are all over the place. I feel like y'all can't even get on the same page and agree on something, even if you were to take this relationship to the next level as far as marriage. What else, Spirit? Yeah, you see the potential of what it can be. The problem is it's not what you were hoping it would be. At least it hasn't turned out that way. I feel a lot of disappointment, a lot of burdens, a lot of carrying extra weight that you had no anticipation of carrying to keep this relationship together for the long term. I feel like this person is draining you, just not just mentally and emotionally, but I feel like they're draining you physically and possibly even financially too. But there seems to be someone else in your circle that you may have had your eyes on that might come in and want to like rescue you from this relationship, show you that there's someone out there that could treat you better, take you out of all that stress and strain. Spirit, clarify this. Spirit said stop getting used. Yeah, you see an opportunity with someone else, but it might be something that you haven't discovered just yet, but I feel like within the next couple months, you're going to have someone enter into your life that's very unexpected and might show you what happiness can be when you actually have someone by your side who's a true partner, to where it's not so imbalanced. Spirit, what else? Show me. Alright. What else, Spirit? Yeah, this person in your future, I feel like they're going to bring you a great deal of peace and balance. Something I feel like you haven't felt in quite some time. There's just a sense of lack. A sense of lack of devotion, lack of affection, even lack of love. Like this person just looks at you and thinks that you're supposed to make everything better and supposed to fix everything. I almost even get a feeling like someone like is like hoping or wishing, even if if you were to walk away from them, like I feel like there's been arguments where you said you were gonna leave, hoping this person will change. And I don't feel like this person is gonna change. I don't feel like they want to change, but I get the feeling and spirit showing me that they're kind of like wishing for bad to be done to you. Not saying they want harm done to you necessarily, but they would like to see you be humbled, we'll say. Not realizing that you have blessings coming. Unexpected blessings. And I feel like for someone, this is like a step up the ladder, no corporate ladder. I almost get for someone, this is like someone at your job who is looking at you. I get the feeling and the way Spirit's showing me, it's like you've been committed to this company for several years and you've given your blood, sweat, and tears to it. And I feel like other people around you are intimidated because I feel like you get recognized for your hard work and talked about, and other people that work with you get tired of hearing the bosses talk about how good you are and how well of a job you do. But this is taking you to the next level, and I feel like it's not even something you're necessarily looking for, but I feel like your bosses might end up giving you an offer, a promotion, because they've seen the dedication you've given to the company and the extra hard work. I feel like it might get tested though, so if this sounds like you, just be prepared. What else, Spirit? Yeah, it might be a lesson that you may have to learn or unlearn. I feel like it's going to come with some greater lessons that you haven't experienced before. A testing of your will, I just heard Spirit say. But for y'all in this relationship, if you're like wanting marriage, I do feel a great attraction to your partner, but it's lacking everything else that's making it crumble. And it's like there's nowhere to go, and you feel like you can't even turn to your family because they'll do nothing but judge you. So it leaves you isolated. But I see you making that decision with this Judgment card out here. And this Eight of Cups out here, showing me that you're getting ready to decide it's time. You've had enough. You're packing your bags. It's time to walk away. So here's your expectation of wanting something better, a marriage, wanting this long-term commitment. And then in the future, this person that's going to come in, and I feel like it's going to offer you, this wealthy man, it's going to offer you something that feels long-standing, to where I feel like it'll be a great deal of relief and peace to you. But having all these cards with the High Priestess upside down, your intuition screaming at you, but you're not listening, and you up in your head, not able to think clearly, and you feel the burdens of everything, and I even feel like you feel like you're suffocated, and you see that what you thought once was going to be a long-standing, stable relationship, you see, has lost its value. And then here in the Five of Pentacles with this marriage card, like I said, it's like you don't have any desire to see it through. I don't feel Because I feel like you're not getting the love and attention, affection that you used to get from this person. You're just carrying around all these weights, all this burden. And like I said, I feel like some of y'all have even lost money. And so now it's like trying to argue and make someone see the value in your relationship and what you bring to the table, but you can't because both of y'all can't be on the same page. So Spirit's asking you to take charge and stand up for yourself. Know that, yeah, as much as you may still love this person, it's not where you're meant to be. You're meant to go elsewhere. And this wealthy man right here with the Page of Pentacles, which is all about new opportunity, and Temperance with patience, finding balance. And like I said, with the Hermit card, you feel isolated. And now you're making a choice with the Judgment and the Eight of Pentacles to walk away. That's what I feel like what's coming in your future. And even for some of y'all in y'all's career. There's something else I feel that Spirit's showing me that's coming in around the corner. That'll feel more welcoming to you. Where you feel like you will get that support from the people you work with. And I feel like people will be much more respectful. People will respect you a lot more if you were to go somewhere else. Yeah, because I even have Five of Cups on the bottom of my other deck, which is all about disappointment. Spirit, show me what's the advice. Advice, Spirit. Two of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're making this decision. And I feel like with the investments you made, even with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like Spirit saying, you know you're worthy of more. You know you deserve more. Why do you keep settling? And I just heard superficial. So there's something about someone who's superficial, who isn't genuine. That can even be the people you work with. That could be this relationship you're in. Y'all take it how it fits. All right. Let me see. Which one, Spirit? Let me see. What else? Make the most of your time and the investments you made when it comes to your career, but see that your skills are needed elsewhere. I don't feel like there's not a Pentacles, and I don't feel like that's you. Spirit just said that's like your partner if we're talking about a romantic relationship. It's like they want more, but they're not willing to put in the work. Yeah, and I get the Wheel of Fortune. It's the outcome. You're going to have to know that whatever happens, it's not that it's beyond your control, but you got to understand there's certain things in life that are already pre-planned for us before we come and incarnate into this life. So I feel like the wheel's going to spin again. Is it going to be positive? I don't know if it's necessarily going to be positive. I feel like it's going to come with some barriers that you weren't expecting, like a test. You know, sometimes Spirit puts us through a lesson, And then they test us after the fact, see if we learn our lesson or we can act foolish again with it. So some things you won't be able to control. What else, Spirit? Ace of Wands. King in the reverse, though. You're going to need an outlet. You're going to need to look elsewhere. Like Spirit's confirming. Stop allowing yourself to get stuck in this Wheel of Fortune. And look elsewhere for opportunity, for happiness. Because staying put isn't going to bring you the happiness and the success you're looking for. With this Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands. It's saying to look elsewhere. Spirit says you'll probably make some progress if you get to it now. But you don't have long. I feel like that window of opportunity will be like over the next couple weeks is what I'm getting. So I'll decide if that's something you want to pursue, you want to take a risk, you want to take a chance. Either becoming single again, breaking your chains from that person who doesn't seem like they appreciate you, or that company / job that seems like you get nothing but hassle and grief for the people you work with. And then you're just completely miserable, trying to get along, just to get along, just to get a paycheck. And that's not what it should always be about. All right, Spirit. One more. Show me. Yeah, Spirit's showing me with this Six of Swords. Things will calm down. It just means having to rough it out a little bit longer first. But you will come out of this rough cycle. And you will find, I feel like many of y'all will find great freedom in this. Releasing yourself from those burdens. Whether it's a relationship or work. For some of y'all, might even be both. Know that there will be opportunities out there, but these opportunities may not always be exactly what you want, okay? With the Seven of Cups, this is all about that opportunities, but it could also be getting lost in the illusions of what you think, oh, it's going to turn out this way, or it's going to be this way, or that way, and it may not. So, think it through, strategize, look at all your options before making a final decision. Alright, put this back where, I don't know where I had this. Oh, my decks are buried. I'll just put it right there. Alright. Ouch. Spirit. Alright. Show me. Actually, I don't want this. Where's my angel deck, Spirit? I got one angel card for the collective, Spirit. Thank you. Alright. Angel card I have for y'all tonight is Universal Energies. You are ascending. And it says, you are flying high, rising up. Stay focused on your mission and know that the universe and angels are supporting you every step of the way. This is part of your ascension process. In order to fully integrate as both soul and human, it's essential for you to face any challenges or mend any relationships you have been putting off dealing with. By stepping forward and facing the complications of your earthly life, you let your soul grow and ascend. And the positive affirmation you can recite is, I support myself in the process of ascension. I support myself in the process of ascension. And that's what I got for y'all for the general collective. Again, beautiful people, that was a general collective. It wasn't a personal. So take it if the messages resonate. Leave it behind if it doesn't. And if something didn't fit, don't force it to fit. And if you want a personal reading, there's a pinned comment in the chat for all that info. Hold on, y'all. No. Alright. Who's all here? Hello, Jack Oates. Hey, Off Grid. Hello, Ashley. Hi, Julia. Thank you. Hi, Fred. Hi, Sonny Lynn. Crazy Paul. Hi, Lynn. Oh, thank you. Crazy Paul. What's distracting? Oh, well, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. So if you don't like it, you can always leave because my builder hasn't replaced it yet. So. Oh, nice, Lynn. Yeah, my friend made this for me. So she thought that since so many people come in and are always curious about my ethnicity, she thought maybe this would help it a little bit. So she made me a few of them, actually. Yeah, ascend. So how are y'all doing? How was y'all's weekend? Did y'all have a good weekend? Anything happen? I got to get a little bit of rest. I needed it. Especially having the house to myself, which is nice. Halloween. I don't even remember what that movie's about, Lynn. I know it's a scary movie, but man, I haven't watched any movies in many years, especially those type of movies. In fact, the last movie I watched that was like horror or something close to it was The Pope's Exorcist with Gerald Butler. And I watched that right before I moved into this house. It was a pretty good movie. Half-baked. That's funny. Well, I'm waking up. I've been up for a little bit. Jumped in the shower. And of course, Spirit unloaded Pandora's box on me again. So I'll be doing some other readings later. You don't watch the demonic stuff? I mean, I understand why some people don't. It doesn't scare me. I don't know. Like one of my other favorite movies, I haven't watched it in a long time either, is Constantine with Keanu Reeves. I love that movie. I used to watch it all the time. I had the DVD for it until my TV ate my DVD because I had one of those built-in DVD players into one of my old flat screens, and I tried getting it to spit it out and it wouldn't, so lost that movie. Yeah, Constantine's one of my favorites. And let's see. I like all the Conjuring movies. But I hadn't watched those in a long time either. And I don't ever get a chance to really... You wonder why. You know. It's always, no Conjuring. It's not scary. I watched all of them. Like the Annabelle. Which I heard, and I read an article some months ago. Look, my cat's got me. I'm all scratched up now. I heard that, I guess whoever was in charge of taking care of the Annabelle doll, I guess they were doing a tour, and I guess they ended up dropping dead one day. I was like, oh wow. Oh, is she gonna talk smack now? I mean, that Annabelle doll is just like a Raggedy Ann doll, so it's like, you know, I guess that's why people are always spooked when they see Teddy back there. But I do like that movie. So I just sat there and I just thought to myself, it's like, well, I mean, if they want to blame it on that doll, okay. I'm not saying it's not possible. I just find it odd. They should have left the doll alone. But I guess since the Warrens died, they, I think they dismantled the museum, which that was not smart, but you never know. Some people are crazy. Yes, they can. And I know they can. You gotta practice some of the dark stuff, I guess, to get a spirit to, like, possess, like, a doll. Now, I know spirits they do have some of them have that emotional attachment. Like my mother-in-law, some years ago at my old house, I have this one ring that my mother-in-law loves. I mean, absolutely fell in love with it. Here, I could probably pull it out. See if I can find this ring. It's in my jewelry box. To give y'all the idea of what I'm saying. Let's see. Put that there. So, this is one of the rings that I was gifted many years ago. And you could see it has like some rough edges, right? So, when we had gone to visit her for the holidays, or it was summers, it was one of those times. She had saw the ring and, you know, fell in love with it. And so I just told her, I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, if anything happens to me, I'll leave it in my will. I'll gift it to you. And so she thanked me, and, you know, and I meant it. You know, I really would have left it to her had, you know, for whatever reason, if I had passed before her. So one night I had just gotten ready for bed. I'd taken all my rings off and laid them on my ring holder on my nightstand, or not my nightstand, my dresser. And I get up next morning, get dressed, go to put on my rings, all my jewelry. And this ring was missing. And I'm like, huh? I know I had, you know, I wear 4 rings. You know, I wore this ring on my index, and I had a different ring for this index, and then I had, you know, my engagement ring, and then I had another ring here. I always wore 4 rings back then. And it's like, I know I put it on this ring holder, but, you know, I just thought, well, maybe I left it in the bathroom or something. So I go look in the bathroom, thinking it might be laying on my, you know, my sink. Nope, it's not there. It's like, I know I put that ring with my other rings on that ring holder. So I couldn't stop and go searching for it. And so I just ended up pulling another ring out of my jewelry box. And I think it was like a day or two later, we were downstairs on the couch. You know, we had watched TV and, you know, ate and all that. And next morning, I get up and I get ready for the day, put on my jewelry and everything. And I go downstairs to sit on the couch to put my heels on. And I sit down and I feel something poking me. It's like, what the heck is that? And it hurt. And I got up and there was my ring. And it's like, wait a minute. That ring, I know, wasn't there where it sat. And, you know, because I sat right on top of it. And had it been there, me or Mr. Potato would have felt it, you know. So I sat there, it's like, yeah, okay, Mom, I know you took my ring to let me know you're here. And I told her, I said, please don't do that to me again, because I think she about gave me a heart attack. So ever since then, it's like I went to sleep with my rings on, because I was always afraid then I was going to wake up and one of my rings disappeared. Hi, Yellow Coyote. So I understand what you mean, Lynn, and they do. So I don't think she ever did it again. It was just her way of letting me know that she was around. And my spirit guides let me know that. It's like, okay, well, at least I know. How you been, Yellow Coyote? What's going on with you, honey? And how you doing, Sunnyland? hear my cats running around all over the place. What the heck? Uh-oh. I think Toby just got in here. Hold on. I think I hear Toby. Poor Toby. He don't know what to do with himself. He's all alone out there. He knocked over some stuff. Yeah, since I'm home by myself, he's not used to being alone. So I think I'm not used to cats being clingy in that way, but he is. He's like my other cat. Like when they're alone, they don't like being left alone. Or if they can't get into the bedroom, like if I'm asleep, I always hear them out there meowing until they can either get into the bedroom with me, or if Mr. Potato's here. So he's out there knocking over stuff. I know I got his toys spread out. I think he knocked one of them. Knocked over this vase I had. Thankfully it was plastic, so, or he'd be in my bathroom scratching up the shower. I don't know what it is. It's like I know there's a portal in my house, and I think he sees my daddy moving around and some of the other spirits moving around. So he always tries to get either into this bathroom, the other bathroom, or into my closet, because they all connect to the same wall. And I did see a couple of blue spirit orbs earlier, so I can only assume that he saw one of them. Still waiting for that woman to come back that I smelled her perfume recently. I think it was about a week and a half ago. I was here at my office just working, and I smelled a perfume, but I was in the middle of a reading, so I couldn't stop and talk to her, but I knew she was here. I told her to come back later, but she hasn't come back, so maybe someday she'll come back. When I got a free moment, and then I gotta talk to her and find out what it is she needs. Sure, she has a message for her loved ones, hoping I'd be able to relay the message for her. I've had a few of them come through and do that. They'll do it to me. Many times they'll do it to me right when I'm falling asleep. And they'll startle me awake. So, it hasn't happened since I've been here, but they did it when I was at the old house. And so I had to tell them, like when I moved here, it's like, listen, you can't bother me if I'm not in this office. If I'm in this office, you can come to me anytime, but once I walk out that door, I'm off limits. The only spirits that need to be talking to me are my spirit guides and my passed over loved ones. Everyone else, y'all gonna have to wait. So, I think the spirits, most of them have respect that. There's only been a couple of them who followed me one night. I mean, thankfully, I don't think I streamed that night, but I was in here and I was doing something, and I had walked out the door, take a break, and she had followed me outside when I went out in my backyard. I think I went out there to check on one of the cats. So, and then she shared some visions with me about her life here and was telling me about her brother, how she was worried about him and so on. But I didn't get his name, so it's like I didn't know what she wanted me to do. So maybe she just wanted me to be aware if anything happened, then I would know. Because I feel like she was worried like he wasn't going to be here much longer. Like she showed me water. She showed me a lake, and there is a couple lakes near where I live. There's one big one. So, and I know there's like a lot of horror stories about that lake. That I don't know if that's the actual lake that she was referring to, but she showed me a lake where like he was gonna be at fishing or something. So she hasn't come back, so I don't know. And then I had another spirit wake me awake right when I was like getting ready. I was almost in, I was like halfway in and out of it, and he woke me up and he showed me who he was, and he wanted me to help him to relay a message to his mom to let her know that he's okay. And he gave me his name and told me, he had died, recently, like recent months. And so, sure enough, I pulled up his obituary and I found him. And it was where he told me where he was at. So I tried looking up his mom's number and I called it. I left a message, but never got a call back. So I got the feeling like his mom was deeply religious, and I would be the last person she would probably ever want to hear from or talk to, especially knowing I'm a complete stranger, even though I was doing what her son asked me to do. But some people get freaked out by that stuff. Or you get like the ones that want to say, oh, well, you're conjuring with demons and familiar spirits. It's like, if that's what you want to believe, knock yourself out, but that's not what it is. So I was sad that, his mama didn't call me back, because I know he was telling me she was, obviously naturally devastated that he had died because he was young. I want to say he was like 24, 26. So he wasn't very old at all. So, but then I had another, I guess you can call it a premonition. I got a warning one night. I couldn't even tell you what I was doing. I want to say it was around 8, 9 o'clock that night though. And I started having these visions, and I saw this woman. She was wearing a yellow top, like bright yellow, and she was wearing like white slacks, some kind of white pants, and she was holding a baby. I mean, the baby could not have been no more than 6 months old, if that. And then I saw this guy enter the bedroom where she was at, and they were arguing. And then all of a sudden, I saw him pull out a gun and end up shooting her. And that was hard. That was a hard vision to have. And I remember I had asked one of my friends, Sally, she's passed away, but I told her, it's like I didn't know what to make of it, and I don't understand why, I was being shown it, and she told me I was shown what was going to happen in the future. So it's my precognition. And I said, yeah, okay, if that's what it was, what was I supposed to do? Like, I didn't know who the woman was, and why me, and she told me, that it's what's going to happen, and all I can do is pray. If it were to happen again, it's like, yeah, but it seems like prayer is just not enough. And I've always struggled with that, having that ability sometimes to foresee or foreknow the future. I struggle with, especially something so violent like that. And, she told me not to worry, that, that she was safe. She crossed over, but the person who ended up, killing her, ended up being arrested. It's like, well, thank God for that. But wow. So you understand, Lynn? Yeah. That'd be a hard thing to have an experience too. Anytime you experience something so violently, wow, that's amazing. So I'm sure you probably understand when I say, what can you do? You can't stop it because you really don't know. It's like, who are you supposed to call? And then even if you knew who to call, are they actually going to believe you? Like, are they going to listen? Um, and that's always been my problem. And then, the other side of it, I think, is always the worry. What if I'm wrong? What if this time I'm wrong? What if I'm misinterpreting what I'm being shown or what I'm being told? But every single time it's happened to me, it's always been right. It makes me think, though, that if you had a vision of the Statue of Liberty like that happening, then they probably had plans on um, flying a plane into the Statue of Liberty too. That's what my intuition tells me. So I don't think you had it wrong. They may not have been able to get to the other plane that they had planned on getting to fly it into the Statue of Liberty too. I mean, especially knowing they hit what? They hit Washington, D.C. It was the Pentagon, I think, or they were supposed to, but people had taken over the plane. Of course, yep. They would probably have you listed as, someone who they need to watch out for, like a terrorist list. That's the other part of it. Like, how do you, get people to believe you? And I guess that's why I've always told people, if you have visions like that, write it down. Not just write it down, but even like take a picture of it. Okay, so like the picture has the date you photographed what you wrote down. And then if it comes to pass, then you have proof. It's like, I told you this would happen this time, and this is when I was shown. Here's the date, here's the proof. Or another way would be like, someone suggested me do this. They said, write yourself a letter. So write what happened, and then, put it in the mail and have it addressed to you, but don't open the envelope. Save it until that were to happen. And then that, envelope has that post date where you can say, look, I said this would happen this time, and here's the proof of the postmark date. So you explain that one to me. So that's what I would have done, honey. He'd be the first Native American deported. Oh, I doubt that, beautiful. Hell, they probably would have wanted to kick me out for many reasons. That's funny, though. It's always wild. It's like, I've always struggled with. It's like I tell people, if you ever get that warning, like someone is gonna possibly get hurt, or they're possibly gonna die, you know, yeah, your natural instinct is you want to, save them. It's like you don't want them to die, but what if it's out of your control? Like it's either a tragic accident of some kind or it's a health, and they've already been sick. And so it's going to happen. And so what are you going to do? You're going to call them up and, tell them, well, I just had a vision that you're going to die, and, and I'm scared and I'm worried. You're just going to worry them to death. And then And that's if they believe you. Because then most times people, they'll stop living because they're not sure, if, especially if you can't tell them exactly what the cause of it would be. Then they more than likely will try and isolate themselves in their house and won't go out anywhere. So they stop living. And that's not what any of us would want. So, and then if you go tell loved ones, it's kind of the same thing. Are they going to believe you? And then if they do, how are they going to react? Are they going to call that person up? It's like, I was just told that you're going to die soon and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of the same thing. So I've always had to make a decision with that. I've gone against my beliefs in it twice, but things were different. Your ex was there, and she believes in your little voice. Hi, caveman. Well, I believe in it too, Lynn. I can relate to it, sweetheart. It was like that time I got warned that my mom was going to be rushed to the hospital hours before it happened. How could I have possibly known that? Granted, she was sick, but she'd been sick for a while. And it's like she was, at the time that night when I saw her before she went to bed, she was fine. There was no indication when I saw her that she was going to need to be rushed to the hospital. But then hours later, it turned out she ended up being rushed to the hospital. And that was the day when everything changed for me. I knew I couldn't not listen to my abilities, that I had to pay attention from that point on. But you just never know. You're feeling the purple, huh? Well, thank you. Yeah, purple's one of my favorite colors. One of my girlfriends made this for me. She made me a few of them, actually. So, she thought this would be a good way for people to figure out, have a better chance of guessing what my ethnicity is, and if anybody wanted to attempt it. So I found that amusing. 1107. Justice. So how you feeling, Lynn? You feeling okay, honey? Hopefully you're taking care of yourself. Cat's jumping on that door. Well, that's good you're resting, honey. I know it can get old after a while. But it's good you're resting. It sucks getting old, doesn't it? Especially when you have heart problems and you can't just get up and do what you're used to wanting to do. Afraid of getting too excited, we'll say. I had one of my old family friends that had heart problems, and I knew they had to be extra careful not to get too excited, whether it was happy or, something that wasn't happy. So I had to be mindful of what I told them, just so their heart didn't beat out of rhythm or cause any other problems for them. 11:09. It's pretty quiet tonight. I just thought I'd come on for a little bit before I get into some of my other Patreon stuff. See how everyone's doing. Spirit wanted me to come out here for a reason, so they call, I listen. And let's see. You're mad because you can't get on the roller coasters? Oh, I would be mad too, beautiful. I love roller coasters. The more loops, the better. I absolutely love them. I used to be so scared of them too when I was a kid. And a parachute. You talking about that one ride that's, I know it's at Six Flags where it takes you all the way up to like a tower and then it drops you and it's like there's a parachute above it that kind of like helps slow it down. I love that ride. It was good, caveman. I got some rest. I came on here and worked a little bit Friday and Saturday morning. And then I rested for a little bit. Enjoying my house to myself. It's peaceful and quiet. How about you? What's your favorite roller coaster, Lynn? I haven't been on the actual real roller coasters in years, but my favorite roller coaster was Batman, and then they had one called the Riddler, and then Superman was another one. But then, like, my very first roller coaster I went on, it was called Boomerang. And it was at Knott's Berry Farm in California. And I went on it with my mama. I was terrified. Oh my God, I was so terrified. Oh, okay, I got you, beautiful. Jumping out of planes. See, I would love that too. Loch Ness Monster. Where's that roller coaster at? I've never heard of it. But yeah, when I was a kid, my mom and my daddy, they loved roller coasters, so they always took us to Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags. And I saw this one roller coaster. It was called Boomerang, and it was just a loop. So it went forward through like one loop, and then it went backwards into the loop. I was petrified. I was screaming. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to die. I even remember looking at my parents like when my parents were trying to talk me to get on the roller coaster, and I started crying. I said, no, I'm going to fall out, you know. And my mama laughed at me. She's like, no, Pib, you're not going to fall out. It's like, why are they screaming? If it's fun, why are they screaming? Busch Gardens. I've never been to Busch Gardens. I've heard of it. My sister-in-law and her family always go to it. I've always wanted to go to it. Down there in Florida, right? It's in Florida. So that'll be an experience. But I'd have to go with people who like roller coasters like me. Most people I know, they won't go on a roller coaster. They're petrified of them. The only person I probably would have been able to get to go on a roller coaster with me would be my brother, but he said now that he's gotten older, he doesn't think he can handle it anymore. He thinks he will get an upset stomach. Like he said, my daddy used to get them. It's like, I don't recall daddy getting any upset stomachs going on roller coasters, because that's all we did when we went to Six Flags and Knott's Berry Farm. But my brother said he did, so. Florida and Virginia. I'll have to look it up. Does it have a bunch of loops in it? The more loops, the better for me. I'm not scared of heights at all. I think that's probably why I like that Superman ride. Or like that one ride that has like the parachute that takes you all the way up to the tower and then it drops you. But then I've seen some horror videos on YouTube where one of the rides, something went wrong and people got hurt. It's like, oh, I don't need to watch these. But I did watch a couple of them. And I think one of the rides I'm talking about in Florida, it might have been the Superman. It was something like that. Something went wrong with the ride and a couple of kids on it got really hurt. So I think they shut the ride down. And you can't go on it anymore. And it's crazy because you would expect something like that to happen at, you know, like at the fair or a carnival. I would expect something possibly to go wrong, but not at a huge amusement park like that. But I would still go on them. Yeah, because I know the Batman ride, it jerks you around a lot. And that's at Six Flags, but depends on which Six Flags you go to, which I always thought was interesting. Because the Six Flags here in Georgia, they name the rides different from the ones in California. So, like the one in California has a ride called the Ninja, but it doesn't have any loops. And your legs are, you know, hanging. And it just goes around the whole park. And it's just, you know, a fast roller coaster. But then the roller coaster here in Georgia that's called Ninja, it has a bunch of loops in it. Or wait, do they have the Ninja here? Maybe I'm confusing it. I might be confusing it with another ride. But like the Batman, I think, as an example. I think that was the only one that seemed like it was pretty close to the one here and the one in California. But then I think the Riddler, I think that was the name of the roller coaster here, but I think in California it's called the Joker or something like that. So I always thought it was interesting how they came up with different names. Even though it's Six Flags, but it's in a different state, so they might have a different name for the ride. Even though it might be the same ride, same roller coaster. Even 19. And then I think of like Disneyland. The few little roller coasters they have, but they don't go upside down. Like the Matterhorn, Thunder Mountain, I think is what it's called. Or no, it was called something else. I thought it was Thunder something. And Space Mountain. Those are the little roller coasters. I always enjoyed riding whenever I went to Disneyland when I was a kid. At least none of those you went upside down. For those who have a weak stomach and can't handle it. I know technically I shouldn't be getting on roller coasters, but I'd still do it. Like, I feel so bad. One year I went to the fair with one of my friends that I've known since I was a teenager. And we just got done eating. And we went and got on this one ride. And the ride just spun around. But I think each little cart also spun. As the wheels spun, the cart spun with it. I felt terrible. Even though I was fine, my friend got sick. She threw up everywhere. Like, wow. So I said I would never do that again. I felt so terrible. We probably should have waited a little while before we got on the roller coaster. Even though it wasn't a real roller coaster, but knowing it kept spinning you. So what other roller coasters do y'all like? Yeah. Knowing the speed can make your heart rate fluctuate. You like Space Mountain? Yeah, I love Space Mountain at Disneyland. But you're right. But I would think, even I guess it depends on what kind of ride it is. Because, like, that one ride I'm talking about at Six Flags where, it goes up to the tower and then it just drops you. That would change your heart rate. Because I know every single time I get on it, it feels like my stomach went into my throat. Even though I love it. But I know that probably would have messed your heart rhythm up too. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I don't ever have anything like that. Or I could still be able to go on roller coasters and possibly one day go parasailing and zip lining and skydiving and get in a shark cage too. That's the other thing I always dream about doing. Go down there to like the Bahamas or down there off the coast of Mexico and get in one of those cages and get around all the big sharks. I guess you can call me an adrenaline junkie in that way. I'm crazy like that. And then I've been waiting for the exotic pet show to come around. So I can go see some of the wild pets that some people have. Like someone had a big, what was it? A bobcat, I think. One year when I went several years ago, that was their pet. The bobcat lived in the house with them. But I like going to it for like the snakes. That's right. It's like if it ends, well, at least I'm going to die happy doing something I love. That's exactly how I feel about it. Hi, Gratitude. How you doing, sweetheart? Whoa, some of my cards dropped. I like to live on the edge a little bit. Can't help it. People still think I'm crazy. That's quite all right. Hopefully that was the only card that dropped. So, yeah. Oh, of course, something else fell over. Empty boxes. Oh, well, happy Thanksgiving to you, sweetheart. I didn't know you lived in Canada. Gratitude. I bet y'all's Thanksgiving was good. I would stuff my face. As long as y'all had some honey baked ham, I'd be all down for that. And thank you. One of my friends made this for me. She made a few of them for me, actually. She thought it would be good for me to have something. Maybe people would stop asking or guessing what my ethnicity is. So, and since purple is one of my favorite colors, I've just got to get some other outfits to go with it. I mean, I have a few things I can wear, but I'm happy you had a good Thanksgiving. I've just been enjoying the peace and quiet around my house. It's nice not to hear the TV blaring in the other room. So I reckon if there was a time I could sit down and watch my TV, it'd be now. But I can't even think of anything I'd be interested in watching that I probably couldn't find on the internet. It definitely is. Yum, Lynn. Now that sounds good. Southern chicken pot pie. I love chicken pot pie. I haven't had that in a long time. That's wonderful. Gratitude. Yeah, it's nice when it's peaceful and quiet. Especially over the last few weeks. Or I should say the past month. With all the chaotic energy I kept picking up from everybody. Damn it. Trying to get this card off the floor. And but peace and quiet is nice. So I've been enjoying it. Spirit told me come out here for a little bit. So I said, okay, I would. Before I get into my other readings for my Patreon members. And do this one other reading that Spirit wants me to do. because they keep waking me up with songs in my head, so. And they've done it to me twice now with the same song, so. You're so full, you rode yourself home. Hey, that's a great feeling, gratitude. That means the food was amazing. Yes, Lynn, it was. That full moon was something else. And I could always feel all the energy around it. It's like there was so much negativity and chaotic energy around it. It's like, I didn't understand what the deal was with all that energy. So I had to like sage my office, I think like 3 times, just to make sure I cleared out all that negative energy. So hopefully the next full moon won't be bad. The full moon before that was pretty nice. Because that was the, what was that? They called that the blue moon, or was it something else? Or maybe it was the red moon. To where it made the, moon look like a fiery red. Which, I got to catch a portion of it. It was beautiful. Oh, well, that's good. Gratitude. I'm happy you did, sweetheart. Hello, the observer. How you doing? You need to go grocery shopping, but you was waiting for people to straighten up some. Yeah, I think I got some groceries in my house. I kind of just been living off of sandwiches right now. That's alright. Did y'all see? I watched a video, what was it, yesterday or day before? And it was this woman, and I guess it was with her boyfriend or husband. And they went to one of those food pantries. And so they, what got, free groceries, right? And you talk about so ungrateful for what, they were given. I mean, like every single thing they had got, she had something negative to say about it. It's like people didn't have to give you all that food, but somebody did it out of the goodness of their heart. Um, it's like beggars can't be choosy, and they were even making comments about how are they supposed to make something with the items they got, and it's like, I know they got plenty of pasta, and I think they got like some tomato soup or something, and of course she was trying to say that there was nothing in there that she could eat because she doesn't eat meat, and she said they didn't give them any vegetables, and someone had came on and responded to her and said, yes, we did. They were just all canned vegetables. It's been forever. The Observer, I don't know who you are, sweetheart. Because y'all's name is... YouTube must have their crap messed up again. Because I see like y'all's name, y'all's handle that y'all sign up with YouTube with, instead of what y'all would pick for like the chat. I don't know why YouTube keeps doing that. Yeah, the weather. Well, hopefully the weather will get better, Lynn. The weather's been calm here. It's been chilly, but at least it hasn't rained. You did a lot of that after Hurricane Helen. Yeah, I know a lot of people had to. And it's, it just, man, you talk about, it really ticked me off because I've donated food to the community food bank. And I know how appreciative people were when I brought all that food that one year. for the event they were hosting called Stuff the Truck for Thanksgiving here in the US. And, you know, yeah, I got butterball turkeys, in fact. So I know whoever got that, all that food, I know they were appreciative of it. Um, but even if it's not everything you would want, it's food. And you should be thankful for that because people don't even have that. Donation collections flown from the local airport by helicopter. Yeah, I know y'all had to supply a lot um, for some of the hurricanes when people lost everything, which was so sad. I had a friend who donated, what was it? Was it Irma? Maybe it was Hurricane Irma. I don't think it was Hurricane Helen. It was one of the other ones that hit both Florida, but I think it hit the Carolinas too. No. And that's really sad to hear that some of those same people are still homeless. Well, now it costs so much more. It was Dennis. Yeah, maybe it was that one they had donated a lot to. Like, they've donated a bunch of bottled water and, I know they donated a bunch of canned goods, but outside of that, I don't know what else they possibly donated. But it's like, even for those people who are without their homes right now, they'd be thankful for any food anybody would donate. Y'all getting me hungry talking about food. Actually, I haven't ate yet. I thought I'd hop on for a bit first. And then I guess I should probably make me a sandwich. Before I start on my readings, my recordings I gotta do. Hey Shelby, how you doing, sweetheart? It's good to see you. I thought about you earlier. I must have manifested you. I did think of you too, Lynn. There's a few people that came to mind, actually. And so maybe that's why Spirit was calling me, like they knew y'all needed to talk with me for a bit. Fran. Yeah, I remember Fran, but which one was it that went, like, it circled? Like, I think it went across Florida, and then I think it, like, skirted across the coast of the Carolinas, and then it came back around and, like, hit part of Florida again, or something like that. Do you remember that? Which one was that one? Helen in the mountains and Fran on the coast. Was it Dennis? I just remember it was bad that year. It don't seem like the storm's been bad this year, or at least I haven't heard of any. Yeah, Shelby, well, sometimes Spirit calls out to me, so they woke me up again with a song in my head, so I gotta do a reading on that. And I thought I'd come on for a little bit, just see how everybody's doing. Oh, I'm sure that pasta's good. I can imagine you being tired, going through all that, and going to your friend's grandmother's funeral. Well, I'm happy you could be there for your friend, honey. I know that's something that probably means a lot to her. Just know that. Because a lot of people, they may show up at the funeral, but it's like after the funeral, it's like it's rare that you ever hear anybody keep in touch to check on people. But I believe you'll be one that'll check up on her a lot, see how she's doing, since y'all have something in common that's you both can relate to this, especially knowing it's happened recently because your grandmother died this year, right? It was this year, the end of last year, wasn't it, Shelby? Oh, well, that's good that she was there for you, and now you can be there for her. But now more than that, y'all can be there for each other, comfort each other. In April this year, that's what I thought. It's good to have friends like that, beautiful. And don't ever let go of them. She sounds like a friend for life. And those are the ones those are the best to have. Well, Shelby, you should get some rest, honey. Like I said, I just came on to say hi for a little bit. Like, Spirit wanted me to come out here, so I said, okay. Maybe I'll come back a little later. I just gotta do a couple things. Oh, that's understandable. At least she's staying busy, and that'll definitely help her with now the loss of her grandmother. Try not to keep her so sad. But it's good that y'all are still able to stay in touch. It's important. Those relationships have to be nourished. Have to care for each other. Aw, thank you, Lynn. That's so sweet of you, honey. Hi, Catherine. How you doing? Oh, well, that's great, Shelby. How you feeling, Catherine? Well, that's okay. Postpone y'all's trip, Shelby. With everything going on, it's understandable, beautiful. Maybe now's not time to go do something like that. Sometimes, Spirit does that to us. You're still recovering. Oh, I'm sending you love and healing light, honey. I know it's not easy to recover from heart surgery. Cardiac rehab twice a week. What do they do there, Catherine? And Shelby, that trip will even be that much more special and magical when y'all are able to go, when it's right for both of y'all. Hi, Steve. How you doing, baby? Are you at work? I'm gravy. Thank you for asking, baby. How about you? Busy at work, huh? Okay. Well, Catherine, at least I have you exercising and also monitoring your heart to see how you're doing. Oh, wow. That's wild, Shelby. What was the infection from? What, did your grandma, I mean, you may have told me already, but does she have diabetes? Oh, thank you. One of my friends made it for me, Shelby. She thought that maybe this be the best way people would be able to, like, you know, figure out or get closer to what my ethnicity is. I told her, I said, don't bet on it, but we'll see. She made me a few different ones. One of them, she said she was still working on. So she said it's a surprise. She wouldn't tell me what it was. I said, okay, well, I'll wait and see. So thank you. And Steve, it's good that you got more energy, baby. Just to annoy the crap out of people. That's something to look forward to, baby. It's like, no, you never. Hey, Catherine. At least you're getting out there and moving around, sweetheart. And like I said, at least they got you hooked up to a heart monitor so they know how far to push you and see how your heart's holding up. That's wild, Shelby. And she got those wounds. And it happened a year ago, too. Wow. I hate to hear that. Hi, Colorado. How you doing, sweetheart? My spirit guy says I look like a goddess now. I laughed at him. Aww. Yeah, I know. No one in your chat knew what was. What about being timed out or knew about me? Oh, well, that's good, Catherine. No, okay. Well, hopefully all your EKGs are looking good, Catherine. And Shelby, you know, it'd be tough. I know how bad my dad's legs got when he got infections, but he had diabetes too. And it was nasty, some of the wounds I saw. That's exactly why part of his foot had to be cut off. Because he wasn't taking care of himself. Wow. I hate to hear that, Shelby. Yes, I remember us talking about it, Steve. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember you telling me about it. And it was some kind of food that they make in like the military. But yes, I remember. It was funny. Yeah, Shelby. Anytime people suffer with dementia or Alzheimer's, it's difficult. That's what my mother-in-law had. That's right. Yeah, I remember. It's like I remember I avoided going to see her, in fact, because I knew she would never remember me. Or if she did, it's like it would be very fuzzy. Like she would say something and then like a few minutes later she would repeat it. And then a few minutes later she would repeat it again. And so it was hard. It was hard to see her that way. So she might remember who I was. There were those times she did, but then, like I said, her short-term memory, it was gone. Oh, that's beautiful, Shelby. Yeah, we're all sending love and light to each other. We all need it. We all needed extra love and light in our life. No matter if we're going through something physical or something else. But if your grandmother or her grandmother possibly had diabetes, that would have caused a lot of that. I hate to hear that they had to suffer that way at the end. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I got to the point with my mother-in-law. One last times I saw her. And then after that I waited until unfortunately she passed away, which was probably close to, man, I want to say it was probably close to 2 years. Um, was the last time I saw her before she passed away. And even then, um, she was always spaced out. Like you would be sitting there, in the chair next to her talking to her, and but it's like she was like in her own little world. It's not like she was communicating. It's not that she couldn't talk, she would, but it was rare that she would get her to say a whole lot. And that was hard to see. I know, honey, and I'm sorry. You know, people will say the first year is always the hardest after they passed. And yeah, that is true in a lot of ways. But it's not like I don't think it gets that much easier even after that first year. I think, for several years after you still struggle with it. Um it may not affect you as much emotionally, but it doesn't mean it still doesn't cross your mind. You just learn to accept it and find comfort knowing that, you love your, loved one and they love you and um but you'll have those moments where you'll think of them. Yeah. And that makes it even harder when there's someone in the family that is like the glue that holds the family together. Well, Shelby, this year, why don't you make it a tradition where y'all have Christmas at y'all's house and try and do what your grandmother would have done to make it special. It's time to create a new tradition. Because if you think about it, beautiful, at some point, I believe you're going to find your divine partner and you'll end up, having your own family and coming up with your own traditions. And it's not saying that you're trying to, take your grandmother's role. but just start a new tradition now where the family still comes together. Yeah, Shelby, you should do that. And I think your grandma would be proud. I think she would feel greatly honored if y'all did that. Keep the tradition going. Just hold it at your house now. And hopefully some of your family will pitch in like they did when it was being held at your grandma's house. Pitch in with setting things up and with the food preparation and all that. Oh, I'm sure they won't mind. And if they do, oh well, they'll get over it. It's like, that's what I miss about going home. I haven't been home for Christmas in over 20 years. And I used to love the tradition. We would play bingo. And we would play it using money too. Like, I think it was what? A quarter or 50 cents per card. And they would come up with all the different ways you could get bingo. So that was a tradition every year. We played bingo. And we played Secret Santa too. And I know that was something my grandparents always loved doing. So, but they keep up the tradition because last time I was there, both my grandparents had already passed and we were still playing bingo. And then, yeah, it wasn't the same without my grandparents there, but we were keeping up with the tradition. And it was still nice. It was still memorable. Well, Shelby, you can't control your family. All you can do is hope that maybe they won't drink as much that day or allow tensions to boil over, that for one day they could put their pride and all that to the side in order to be with the family. And if they can't, that's just toxicity and something you're not going to be able to fix. That's something they're going to have to figure out themselves how to fix within. And that's sad if it turned out that way. Oh, that's sweet, Shelby. Yeah, because we played bingo, Secret Santa. And I think there was something else we used to play too, but I'm drawing a blank. And then we'd have dinner. Man, there was something else I thought we did, but I can't think of what it was. But it was always fun going over there. Well, beautiful. Hopefully your dad will allow it. Hopefully he won't have any problem, even though he's been drinking, and I hate to hear that. And I hate to hear that there's, tension in family with your uncle. It's always hard. And it makes it harder when it's that time of year with the holidays coming up. I know this year will be a little hard for me, knowing I've lost multiple people, but one of them was my family member too, who passed away back in January. So this will be our first Christmas without her, and that's going to be hard. But we're going to make the best of it, because that's what she would want. So I know my family's getting her breast cancer Christmas tree up. There was like 3 or 4 Christmas trees set up in the house, and one of them was specifically just for breast cancer. So it had pink ornaments and all that. Oh, I love that, Shelby. Stout, you have a question? Well, if you want a personal reading, you can look at the pinned comment in the chat, sweetheart, for the info. Oh, I hate to hear that, Shelby. I really hate to hear that your dad is like that. It doesn't make the holidays that pleasant. But beautiful, you know what I would do? I would get the rest of the family together. The ones that don't have any, drinking problems or there's no tension, bad blood between anyone. And make the most of it. Maybe that might mean that, if y'all can't have it at your house, well, maybe it'll be good at someone else's house. All right, Troll, it's time for you to go. Hi, Kyle. Thank you. You too, honey. You tell your friends about me. Oh, well, thank you, Shelby. That means a lot to me, honey. Yeah, Spirit woke me up, told me to come out here for a little bit. So I said, okay. Well, where does everyone live, Shelby? Does everyone live closer to you, or do they live, closer to your aunts? And would your aunt, would she be okay having it at her house? Let's see something. Dang it. I must have bit my lip at some point. Excuse me. Yeah, Shelby, some men, they're very simple that way. They're happy if you just make them a sandwich. And then they can stay home and watch, like, football. Because I know they always have a football game on Thanksgiving. Well, honey, y'all still got time to figure out where it would work. You got about 5 weeks, I think. Hi, Ethereal Moonlight. How you doing, sweetheart? I'm Gravy. Thank you for asking. How you doing? Welcome. Oh, you're so sweet, honey. So are you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, one of my friends made it for me. She made me a few different ones, actually, and then she's making me another one, but she won't tell me what it is, so. Oh, yeah, Shelby, I'd get my Christmas shopping done before Thanksgiving, but I hadn't even had a chance to even think about that yet. Thank you. Yes, and you know I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So, thankfully, I had a purple top. So I had to find some of my other outfits that are either purple or, I mean, I guess black or even white will work. Yeah, purple's definitely my top favorite. Purple and blue. But I do like the white and the black and like silver, and I do love red too. So how you doing tonight, honey? You're up a little late. But it's good to see ya. I just came on for a few minutes. You're heading to bed? Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, beautiful. I appreciate you coming and supporting me, girlfriend. You know, beautiful, since you did a reading for me, I have one of my oracle decks. Actually, I got several. If you saw my deck collection, let me find, if I could find that one deck. I was looking for it the other day, actually. That's definitely true. You're right about that, honey. It's one of my addictions. Is all my tarot and oracle decks I have. I have this one beautiful, well, I got several. I can't even tell you if I have a favorite because there's so many of them that I love that cover different things. Okay, that's self-care. Absolutely. Hi, Surreal. How you doing? Okay, Shelby. Well, thank you for coming on and stopping by saying hi to me, beautiful. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Sweet dreams to you, Shelby. Good night, honey. All right, Spirit, show me. Show me, Spirit. Okay. Huh. Well, beautiful. I got mirroring. Spirit, clarify this. Before I say anything, I need you to clarify what this is. Spirit. I get the energy. Spirit's like telling me that you're waiting for word from someone for like an answer to a solution to a problem you're having. This feels intimate. It feels like it's either within your family or your close circle of friends. It doesn't feel like it's like an acquaintance. But I feel like, because here's the mirroring. And I feel like Spirit's wanting you to go deeper within yourself for those answers. Like, instead of seeking answers from others, Spirit's saying you already have the answers, you possess it within yourself. But I do feel like you will get a response from someone that I feel like you're waiting on. Because I have the letter card here. But I feel like it's being delayed. Because I have the Chariot here. And usually the Chariot upright would be like it coming in fast. And you having that strength and willpower to take it on. But with it in reverse, this is more about obstacles being blocked. So I feel like it's being delayed. So I hope that helps you, beautiful. Hi, Larry. You're waiting on answers from your guides. Yeah, beautiful. I feel like it just means you got to go deep within yourself. And I feel like the answers will come. You know, you just got to be more open-minded to tune into it, that sometimes the answers may not even be like when we meditate. Like our spirit guides, even our loved ones, they'll give us signs like out in public. I'll share a story with you. This happened to me a couple years ago. It's actually going on 2 years. I had to sell my old house because I couldn't afford it anymore. So I had to move in with relatives for a short bit until I could get back on my feet. And I started looking for a new house, a new place to live. And I saw this one neighborhood that was newly developed. It hadn't been up, you know, like when I say it hadn't been up long, it's like it might have only been there a month. They had only built like one house in the neighborhood. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to move to that area because it's an area I didn't know. I never been there. And it was, you know, far away from where my baby brother lives. So, but I didn't want to, you know, count it out either. So, I called, you know, my realtor and said, okay, can we go check out this neighborhood? And they agreed. So that night before I went to bed, I asked my parents, And I asked my spirit guides to show me. Show me if this is where I'm supposed to live. You know, give me a clear sign, you know, to make me decide. Because even what they were asking for, one of the houses was a little more than what I was willing to spend, too. That was the other part of it. So, go to this neighborhood. But before I get there, I wake up the next morning, and as soon as I open my eyes, I have a song playing in my head. And it's a song I recognize because it's one my mama used to sing to me all the time when I was a kid. And so that was my mama's way of coming through and telling me yes. And so I thought that was interesting. So I get dressed and head to the neighborhood, which is in a different county. And as soon as I get to the county line, I see a big, huge sign posted. It's like a political sign for someone running for local office. And it had my daddy's surname on it. And my daddy's surname isn't a common name. It's not like a Davis, a Johnson, a Smith. It's nothing like that. And the only time I've heard that name is my family. I've never heard it anywhere else. So I was surprised. So that was, you know, a second sign. And so we get to the neighborhood and I look at the house. And the problem with the house, though, it wasn't finished. Like, it still didn't have like all the sheetrock up. And so I couldn't like see myself in this house. I needed at least the walls up for me to really visualize if I could see myself living here. And so my realtor's like, well, the builder that is building this neighborhood, he built a house or built a neighborhood a year ago that has the same floor plan that the house you're looking at that's here has. So they do have one house that nobody's living in, but you know, they told me that I couldn't bid on it even if I wanted to because the house was already under contract, but they would let us look at the house. Okay, so we drive over there, same thing. There's the same political sign set up in front of this neighborhood. And we get there, we go and look inside this house that's under contract. And it was kind of same thing. There was more finished in this house, but there wasn't still all the walls up. And so I told my realtor and his wife, it's like, I still can't see it. Like, I really need to see this house, like, fully built and completed. And so we step outside and we're looking, you know, and talking, discussing, you know, looking at some of the other houses in this, you know, on this one street. And next to the house that was under contract, my realtor, you know, looked at me, he was like, Amanda, look, that house next to the house that's under contract, that's your house. That's the floor plan. And I said, yeah, okay. And he's like, go knock on the door. Ask them if we can come inside and take a look. And I looked at them crazy. It's like, are you serious? Like, I'm a stranger. Nobody's just gonna, you know, welcome me into their house like that. Like, you know, I thought it was crazy. And they're like, no, just go over there and ask. And it's like, okay, what I have to lose? The worst they can tell me is no. To my surprise, once I got to the door, an older woman came and answered, and she invited us in. And so we started looking throughout the house. She started, you know, explaining every room in the house. And I noticed there was this big angel figurine that was hanging on the door frame of her master bedroom. I just so happened to have the exact same angel figurine. And in fact, it hung on the same door frame of my master bedroom at my old house. Okay, so there's another sign. And after we were done looking at the house, we were saying our goodbyes to her. And I had just mentioned the political sign outside, you know, in the front of the neighborhood. I said, yeah, I said, it's crazy. I said, because that's my family's name. And she's like, really? I said, yeah, really. She was like, well, you know something? That's my maiden name too. What? Like, it was unbelievable. And I knew then that all those signs, that was my spirit guides and my parents answering me, yes. You know, and people could say, you know, well, that's just coincidence. It's like, okay, one, maybe two, okay, fine. But I mean, there was like 5 different things that showed me that were signs, clear signs that I could see and I could understand, especially when I specifically asked them, you know, for their thoughts, and they were answering me, told me that, yes, that's where I had to be. So Yeah, I mean, you could speak it out openly or you could say it in your head, beautiful. You got to understand, our spirit guides, our passed over loved ones, they hear no matter how we say it, whether it's in our head, whether we say it out loud, or you can even write it down on a piece of paper or type it up on your, phone or your computer screen. They'll get the message and they'll answer you. You just got to be patient and wait for the answers to come to you. Because sometimes it might not happen right away. And so people will get impatient. But it could even simply happen like you go out somewhere. Like, let's just say you go out to eat with, one of your friends. And you're sitting there at the booth talking with your friend, having, dinner. But you overhear a couple behind y'all having a conversation. And, you're not trying to be nosy, but, they're right there. Y'all's back is to each other. So let's just say hypothetically, they say something that sounds exactly like it's answering the question you have. That's another way our spirit guides will get our attention and send us messages. It'll be something like that. So just be open to it, beautiful. Aw, same you, honey. They will answer you. It's it's not uncommon, even like if you have a dream, or you might even see it like come across your TV screen. Like, let's just say you're watching TV one day and you see a commercial come across, and it seems like part of that commercial answered your question. That'd be another way they will send you those messages. Or it can even be in a song. Like a lot of times, like it actually happened to me this morning. It's the second time. It's like they unloaded Pandora's box of music on me the past couple weeks. That I've been doing readings around songs that I wake up that are playing in my head and I just can't get rid of them. No matter how much I try, it's like the song just keeps playing over and over and over in my head. And then I have to talk to my spirit guides like, okay, is this song being sent to me by someone, or is this for someone who watches me, who needs, a message? And, 9 times out of 10, it's for someone else. Okay, so I know I got to do a reading on it. And it's amazing the responses I get from people that they say that what I said, exactly resonates. It was like I was speaking to them directly. So that's another way I'll get some of my messages is through music. Oh, you're welcome, honey. Yes, it is 12:22. So you just never know. Um, Even if you were to like walk outside in nature, and let's just say that you keep seeing the same bird show up, and it happens for days, and you're not looking for this bird. Let's just say it's a blue jay, and you just keep seeing a blue jay appear every morning you walk outside. That's a sign. Especially if before then, you didn't see this blue jay, like there was no sign of this blue jay, but all of a sudden it appears out of nowhere. And it seems like it keeps coming back. That would be another way they would do it. They'll use um, animals out in the wild, especially if you get them, hanging around you or they act weird towards you. Like I tell you one time, um, I didn't ask my spirit guides or my parents for like a specific question I needed an answer to, but they just wanted to let me know that they were around. So one day I walked outside into my front yard and I see this big, huge hawk perched on like one of those barriers they you see construction people put up to where you can't drive, into like a driveway or a street or something. So they had this long barrier standing there. And this hawk is perched up on it. And I walked, out towards the front of my car so I could take a closer look at it. And this hawk just looked right at me. It was wild. And I knew that was a message from my spirit guides and my parents. Let me know they were around. And they wanted me to know that. I even took a picture of it. I think I posted it on my channel. So beautiful. I get the feeling whatever you've been asking your spirit guides, they've already tried answering. It's just maybe you haven't paid attention to all the signs they're sending you. So be more receptive to it. Pay attention to your surroundings. Okay, beautiful. That sounds good, like a plan. Yeah, you ignore. Stop ignoring it, honey. It'll happen in the most unexpected ways. You would think you would get that message or that sign. They have a different way, and it won't always be the same way they'll answer you. So I hope that helps you, honey. Good night. Sweet dreams to you, sweetheart. Thank you for stopping in. See you next time. Ouch. Oh, Shelby, of course. You know I would come on and say hi, support you. Sweet dreams to you, sweetheart. And then I should probably go find something to munch on real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. afraid? You want to ask a woman on a date? Well, just ask her. What are you afraid of? You afraid of rejection? What do you need help with, friend? I did a show on how to ask a woman on a date. I don't know what you're talking about, Fred. I know I mentioned it one night because my friend was talking about how some of you guys can be so dense, as she put it. What do I say? You don't want to come off as creepy music. I'm confused, Fred. Ouch. Hi, Tara. How you doing? So, Fred, I don't know if I can help you, baby. All I could do is do a reading for you. See if the person you're interested with will say yes or no. But you may want to hold that thought, because I'm going to have to go for a little bit. I gotta do a few things, and then maybe I'll come back. Ooh, that was a big spirit orb. Pretty. Aw. Well, beautiful people. It was nice to hang out with y'all for a little bit. Like I said, I may come back later. I just gotta do a couple things first. And I guess I need to really eat something besides just these chips. So I won't have, I won't be taxed. Because I gotta do some other readings. But I gotta do some readings for my Patreon members first. So, it was good seeing y'all. Maybe I'll be back later. If not, y'all have a wonderful night. Till next time.